This is it, folks. We have waited for this now literally for 1 year as once again they go all out where everything is sure to change. Moments will be made, matches to remember, and stars will be born. Hello, everybody. I'm just a simple man. My name's Noah Foster, and welcome to this special all-out preview edition of AEW Spark. With that being said, I'm not going to waste no more time. We got a lot to discuss. Let's get right into it. But before, of course, we talk about Dynamite and the pay-per-view, I always like to shed some light on Dark. Let's talk about some things that's been going on there. Eddie Kingston, with his Real Talk, has really brought together dominance when it comes to Butcher and Blade and Lucha Brothers, as they were both victorious in their respective matches. Would it look like they were going to come to blows, though, as all four men, technically five men, are in the Casino Battle Royale. Eddie Kingston brought them in with a hug, but you know he has a subtle plan. Also, Allie, she's making waves as a single star. I'm glad to see that. Yay, Allie. As she gained another victory this time on Dark by herself with her move into the rabbit hole. Interesting seeing Brandy on commentary. Brandy subtly showing that she's been really helping Allie move forward. Glad Allie is moving forward as a competitor, but she still needs to hone in her craft and show more potential to be as good as me. I can't tell if Brandy is subtly being heel or face here, but overall, I guess she's being supportive. Once again, the Dark Order dominated Dark, as all three matches, they basically showed what they were made of, and they won 2 out of 3. 3 and 4, Alex Reynolds and John Silver, they finally freaking got their first victory as a tag team. Who knew it was going to take this long? And, of course, the duo of Preston Allen Angels, they took on the Natural Nightmares towards the end of the show, and they came up short. And Colt Cabana finally starts to be seen to be influenced by the Dark Order, as he showed a much more aggressive side, winning with a discus clothesline, the move of Mr. Brody Lee, in his Dark match. But the biggest story, of course, to come out of last Dark, which was a special edition Dark last night, is, ladies and gentlemen, the pursuit for the first win is finally going to end. 50 episodes in, episode 51 it sounds like, we're finally going to see Brandon Cutler versus Peter Avalon. Leva Bates has done everything she could through the initiative to try and bring the two together to get victory together as a team, and it all just fell apart as ego of Peter Avalon. He said he wants to do it his way. He says he wants to prove he's not enhancement top. He wants to do it first and prove Brandon Cutler is the worst wrestler. Leva trying to be voice of reason. It looks like it just could not work. It's good, though, that Leva's not the special guest referee, because I'm sure she couldn't decide. But I feel like she might have a plan, because the only way that she can protect her initiative idea, I feel like, is somehow cause their finish to be double countout. Because unless the two literally pin each other all 4 shoulders down at the same time, we're finally going to have a winner, folks. I don't know about y'all, but this has been my #1 storyline to always look forward to and wonder how it's going to end come Dark. So the fact that now it might finally end, 50 episodes in, I'm kind of a little sad, personally. But again, will it actually happen? We'll have to wait and see. But with that being said, that's just your subtle highlights from AEW Dark. As once again, great independent talent, support wrestling folks, showcase what they're made of. Kylie King, hell of a match against Eva Lees, but Las Estrellas, they definitely are strong together. Diamante and Eva Lees, the winners of the Women's Tag Team Cup. And, of course, everyone else is trying to make strides, whether they're independent competitors or AEW wrestlers. Kip Sabian, I feel like he's still on rocky ground. Penelope Ford, she's definitely moving forward. We haven't seen Sky on Dark since his match for the TNT title. TH2, they're doing really good as a team. And as far as everybody else, we're just going to have to wait and see. I think that pretty much covers the bulk of it. Let's go ahead and talk about Dynamite now as we go into our pay-per-view. So, Dynamite. Whew, what a go-home show. Let's talk about big go-home atmosphere, big go-home feel. We start off by figuring out what seemed to have been our final match for AEW All Out, as these 8 men duked it out. Young Bucks with a brand new demeanor, you can tell. And their partners, Jurassic Express and Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. They took on the quadrant of Private Party, Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, and Christopher Daniels and Kazarian. On the pre-show, you could tell Kazarian was dead serious about one thing and one thing only. We want the win, follow our lead. There was a lot of confusion, commotion, but in the end, both these teams before, they really worked well together. But you can really tell the story here was, how was the Young Bucks' mindset? As they saw a fan with a Hangman sign, they ripped it in half and literally dropped a drink in his face. Jeez. But in the end, near falls aside, crazy shenanigans, the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express, they did get the win. But what's interesting here is the Young Bucks, they immediately left, and they left out of the heel tunnel. there's a brand new Young Bucks, I think, on the horizon after what happened with the flop with them and Heyman, and Page. And I feel like the Elite's about to change forever. But as I also talk about what's next for the Elite, we have to go into this subtle interview segment, as we had Kenny Omega being interviewed by Tony Schiavone regarding Heyman Page's actions and how is the team's mindset going into, well, what could be their toughest tag team defense for those titles to date. As again, Heyman and Page and Kenny Omega, they will be taking on the duo of FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, with Tully Blanchard in their corner. Kenny Omega, by the way, big shout out to that shirt. Happy birthday, Hana. Rest in peace. All proceeds of that shirt that get bought go straight to Hana's mother. I thought that was very touching. Such a class act. Kenny Omega basically doesn't know where Heyman and Page's head is at, but he knows that he and him had to be on the same page, come all out, because again, when the gold's on the line, that's when all other scenarios and indecisiveness has to go out the window. But then we get FTR coming out here with a cooler. They give Kenny Omega his favorite beverage, chocolate milk. I like that. And it looks like they were going to have a toast, but Kenny Omega playing it off so he's like, okay, I get where this is going. You guys want to probably soften me up, beat me down. It's 2 against 1. Then he assaults Tully Blanchard, thinking that's 3 against 1. And as it looked like we might get a melee, who comes out but Heyman and Page being berated by FTR, basically saying, explain to him how we were the ones, because we weren't the ones, that caused you to turn your back on your best friends. Explain to him how you solely decided to make sure that you would not get that rematch from AEW Revolution against your so-called best friends. Because all you are is an insecure millennial. And apparently someone did not know when to push that censor button when that S word came out, about how he's an absolute piece of shit. And then things really hit the wall between the 4 men. As Kenny Omega's like, what are you doing? You're letting him get in your head. And it looked like we're going to come to fists. I can't tell how angry, frustrated, indecisive Heyman and Page is right now. But he's definitely, I feel, the most combustible element in this tag match. As FTR held the titles and then dropped them, disrespect, right in front of the champions, Heyman and Page, he lifted it up, was going to give Omega his, but Omega was waiting outside the ring. So, are we on the road finally to brand new tag team champions? And based on teasers from being the Elite, are the Elite changing forever as it seems? Are the Young Bucks going heel? Is the Cleaner coming back? Is Kenny Omega had enough of this shit? And where is Heyman and Page head stand in all this? Is he with FTR? Is he against them? Is he seriously just in this for himself? Does he want to continue to hold these tag titles with Kenny Omega? What is the Hangman's plan? We're going to have to wait and see. As we move on from there, we go into a subtle promo by Le Champion, Le Sex God, Le Demo God, Chris Jericho, as he basically has final words for Orange Cassidy regarding his match coming up this Saturday.
Jericho to be you and Orange Cassidy, Mimosa Mayhem, Saturday at All Out. What can we expect?
Mimosa Mayhem match. The perfect culmination of 14 weeks of Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho to finally decide who is the better man.
I think Jericho summed it up right there for you. Again, this is it. This is Jericho versus Cassidy 3. One man will come out victorious and come out on top. And Jericho decided to have a warm-up match. As following this, he faced, well, the bad boy Joey Janela. We all saw how this was going to play out. But what's interesting before this is that Jake Hager went to Orange Cassidy's locker room, suddenly sat next to him, and literally was like, Chris Jericho wants you out there to watch his match. He extremely recommends that you do it. Again, Cassidy, no words, barely any movement. Looks like he has a back. Maybe he'll do it, maybe he won't. We get to this match, and of course the fans are singing Judas. Such a beautiful sight to hear and see. All Maz in their little respective social hubs. I think there's like 600 people according to the press conference. Anyway, good solid match, but definitely this is more of a metaphor of things to come as Chris Jericho came out wearing an Orange Cassidy shirt and basically destroyed Joey Janela, who did not have a chance. Following that, he literally rammed his head to expose turnbuckle and wiped the blood of Joey Janela on the Orange Cassidy shirt as a matter of like, you see this? This is what's going to happen to Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy, of course, did come out and watch from the bombs, just slowly sitting, but it wasn't until that moment where literally Orange Cassidy, he did something. He went into the ring, tried to attack Le Champion, and literally the numbers got the best of him as, of course, Hager was out there with Chris Jericho. But it wasn't until Sonny Kiss came out and made a difference, as he was out there to, of course, protect his partner. And, of course, Orange Cassidy was about to hit him with the Orange Crust, the Superman Punch. Hager got him out of the way. Subtle man for Orange Cassidy. Jericho, you're going down as he pulled out a bottle, a little bit of the bubbly, and dumped it in the middle of the ring. Who's going to win? Is someone going into that? This is going to be an extremely interesting match. This has been certainly a feud for the ages. Following that, we get a promo from Jon Moxley talking about Championship Week. He loves this. Is MJF truly ready for this? Are you willing to die for what you want? Are you willing to kill me, but kill yourself in the process? We're going to truly see what you're made of. 2020's had enough of havoc and bad moments. I can't let MJF win this title. Again, PWI's 500 #1 Wrestler of the Year, Jon Moxley. He's ready, so we'll see if MJF truly is ready. As we continue from there, we get a preview of the Casino Battle Royale, as it looks like everybody's trying to make a bid for who is going to win. As, of course, we had Eddie Kingston's unstoppable foursome of Lucha Brothers and Butcher and Blade get a win in a simple 8-man tag match. And afterwards, it looks like it's going to come to blows. It is never meant for themselves. But, of course, Eddie Kingston, he brings them in together. Then Taz comes out, of course, with Ricky Starks, Brian Cage. They first come out this time, by the way, and subtly talk about why someone as part of Team Taz, now with their own music and Titantron, and shirt as well. Go buy it at shopaew.com. They talk about how one of these men's going to win, and we just have a melee of words between Eddie Kingston and Taz, both just trying to shut each other up. And then you think we're going to stop right there. No, we're not, as, of course, we're going to also get everybody else involved here. As literally, we have Sean Spears, Tully Blanchard, Sully come out, no words spoken. And then just an all-out melee and brawl ensues as, once again, Darby Allin made his presence known, went straight out to Ricky Starks. Ridiculous match, by the way, with Luke for an AEW Dark. Yeesh, I hope his leg's okay. Anyway, there's at least 20-plus men brawling the way, including some independent talent. You had Serpentico, you had Fabu, you had Pentagon Zero. Yes, he has a name change. Austin Gunn, Billy Gunn, Santana, Ortiz, and best friends from earlier. How could I forget that opening match, by the way? As more of it was not really match, but just brawl and melee, it seemed like we're trying to sell this feud. In the name of Trent's mom, Sue, and to avenge the minivan, these four men killed each other. It wasn't until a reverse baton assist out of nowhere, freaking foreign object, gave, of course, Proud and Powerful the win in a very game match against Chuck and Trent. I hope personally these four face each other again. And honestly, kind of surprised me it wasn't saved for All Out. If you get a chance, please go watch that opening match. It was great. And it was brutal, too. Especially that chair spot. Yeesh. Anyway, the brawl continued to ensue during the commercial break. JR slowly put the idea, well, the ref's probably on their coffee break. And they finally come out from coffee break and break this all up. So who's going to win the Casino Battle Royale? In my opinion, I still think it's going to be Lance Archer. Lance Archer was the most dominant thing in this match. But seeing Lance and Jake Hager match up, that was an interesting sight to behold. Eddie Kingston in the corner. We'll see who wins this whole thing come All Out. And then we move on into what was truly one of the best women's matches in AEW recent memory during this COVID era. Dedicated time, great in-ring wrestling, mat game, back and forth action as Thunder Rosa made her AEW Dynamite debut. And literally, her and Serena Deeb, they tore the house down in a classic. What an amazing wrestling match. These two were back and forth, tit for tat for every move. I like the subtle, I think, like, tribute to her straight edge society type stance. But Serena Deeb came out with her black and white gear. And there were some really good moments here. And even JR said this is one of the better women's matches, competitive women's matches we have seen in a while here. I can't recall the last time I saw a good women's match in AEW go this far, go this competitive, since probably Penelope Ford versus Hikaru Shida. And in the end, Thunder Rosa, she did win with the Thunder Driver after countering Serena Deeb's finisher. But honestly, if you want to grow this AEW women's division, Serena Deeb, that is a person you need as part of this division. Because I want this division to flourish. I really do. I could not be more excited for Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa tonight on All Out, as I feel that match could definitely steal the show. We get some subtle interest from Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy, as once again they give us their promos, as Sammy Guevara claims himself as king of the tables. But from afar, as we come back from commercial break, Matt Hardy is there with a subtle sign just says, Sammy, you will be deleted. as we will have a first time ever Broken Rules match at All Out. And I'll tell y'all more about that in a little bit. But then we come to our, well, I almost forgot. We have Big Swole, who finally gets her hands on the Dr. Britt Baker. She names her match. And we're also going to have another first time ever, as she says, you've been ducking and dodging me, La Pasola. But you can't now, because I'm coming to your job. It's going to be a tooth-and-nail match between Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Big Swole. And Tony Schiavone's just wondering what the heck that means, but there you have it. And as it seems like we're going to move on to the next segment, pizza order for Tony Schiavone from Reba. It's Rebel, folks. And literally, we all knew that was Reba. And literally from out from behind, whack, with a freaking crutch. Bit bigger. She gets the better of Big Swole and literally humiliates her and lockjaws her. And puts a crime against pizza. But as JR put it, at least not pepperoni on it. Yeah, can you tell I don't care about pepperoni, pineapple. Can you tell I don't care about pineapple on pizza? Good old JR. But yeah, I mean, lockjaw basically says, you're in my world now. And yeah, she had a glove. She did safely, folks. And they literally just smushed the pizza in Big Swole's face and hair. Man. Oh, by the way, Excalibur is back too. Great to hear Excalibur back as well. Which leads us into our main event, of course, as Jon Moxley took on MJF's legal counsel, his lawyer, Mark Sterling, who was reluctant to do this earlier, but had some subtle influencing, motivating words and threats from one MJF, who says, bad things happen to those that prevent me from getting what I want. So you go out there and you face Jon Moxley, or you get stuffed in a freaking wood chipper. I think he would have personally took the wood chipper, but Wardlow made sure that didn't happen, as it came out with the most ridiculous padded suit gear ever. And basically, this was just a fun, subtle warm-up match, as Jon Moxley put it, as Wardlow was out there at ringside, making sure that Mark Sterling did not leave. And basically, he let him get a few shots in. There was a from the eye, and then boom, paradigm shift. That's it. Jon Moxley wins. He's ready for All Out. Or is he? As afterwards, Wardlow came into play. I knew this was going to happen. And attacked the man. I mean, come on. Are you really surprised, people? I know I'm not. Come on. Anyway, as Wardlow is beating down the champion, MJF comes out on his Burberry scarf-covered walker and neck brace. And he is absolutely fine, but shows another side of him that we have not seen yet in Dynamite, as he brutalizes the champion, including a 42K punch to the head, literally yelling at the crowd, you mad? You mad? This is the next 25 years. This is the future. But those that slowly listen, you heard Jon Moxley said, go fucking nuts. So again, Jon Moxley is pushing MJF. MJF literally biting Jon Moxley's head, as JR calls him a Richard. You can tell why. But I see Wardlow just hold the title and look down at it as MJF continues the onslaught. And literally MJF, he just stands on the end with the title. So is this what's to come? Oh yeah, and one more thing, because I don't care about them. Dark Order versus the Natural Nightmares, back to Scorpio Sky. They slowly put this over. And basically the Forza says the Dark Order will fall. We'll see as the Natural Nightmares do go in with momentum following AEW Dark in their 8-man tag to come. Which leads me to tonight, as I talk to you now, 2:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday, September 5th. Let's talk about what to expect on tonight's card. I tell you what you won't expect, and I'm sure it pisses Kazarian off, but it wouldn't surprise me if he's in the Casino Battle Royale. SCU are not on this card. It's just funny, actually, considering they are one of the pioneers of tag team wrestling, and last year they were involved in a big-time match with who the Young Bucks are facing, Jurassic Express. Of course, that time it was a 6-man. This is a 2-on-2. But let's go ahead and talk about what to expect tonight. We have a 10-match showcase. We, of course, will have red carpet specials beforehand. We will also have, of course, a 1-hour-long buy-in. And we're going to start with what now is the buy-in match, as originally it was tooth and nail, but I advocated that it should be on the main card because these two put in so much for this feud. Dynamite put so much into these two for this feud. They deserve a main card spot too for this match. I'm glad that happened. Tony Khan once again listening to the fans, making All Out as big as possible. By the way, if you didn't listen to that press conference call, I highly recommend it. Thank you, Amy, for the cliff notes. He talks about the second show, All Out, and just Dynamite in general. Let's go ahead and talk about this pay-per-view, though. So, our first match is Private Party versus 3 and 4 of the Dark Order. Now, I don't know about you all, but literally, these two, the Dark Order, they only have gotten one tag team victory. Private Party is still one of the top 5 teams on the rankings. I solely believe that Private Party is going to go over here, and then 3 and 4 will have to answer to Mr. Broy Lee. If they can handle that, because again, Mr. Broy Lee refuses disappointment. Who knew that Broy Lee would be the one character BT needs to be even more entertained than it is now? It's like freaking watching The Office. Anyway, following that, I'm going to talk to you about the Casino Battle Royales. The names I know in it, it seems like it's Darby Allin, Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, Eddie Kingston, The Blade, The Butcher, Phoenix, El Pentagon, El Zero, Sean Spears, Austin Gunn, Billy Gunn, Santana, Ortiz, Jake Hager, Trent, Chuck, and who knows what else. And just from there, that's 17 names, which leaves us 3 other names and a wild card. Because again, these guys will come out in groups of 5 based on a deck of cards based on the suit that they pull. And then number 21 will be the Joker, comes out on his own. So, who do I see winning this? Well, let's think about this. Who hasn't had an AEW World Championship opportunity? Who really can grasp this moment? Who could seize the moment? I mean, names for now include Lance Archer, Eddie Kingston, Darby Allin, even a surprise appearance from a former talent from another company in Murrow. But if I look at this and I think about you trying to build somebody up, there's one guy that says everybody dies. This is the #1 match to personify that. So I personally think Lance Archer is going to win, and we're going to get renewed history. Maybe. Based on my picks for later. Following this, we will have Dark Order, The Foursome, Mr. Broy Lee, Colt Cabana, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson. They will take on the foursome of the Natural Nightmares in Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall, Matt Cardona, and Scorpio Sky. There's a lot to think about here, as all 4 of these men, they are fighting on behalf of Cody and the destruction that fell before the Nightmare family, including 2 of these men that faced that destruction as well as Brandy. Now, I imagine Allie's going to be in QT's corner, and we've seen Anna Jay subtly call out Brandy, and Brandy subtly called out Anna Jay as, you want to try something against me, I'll send you your pretty face right back to the Nightmare Factory. But I will say this, since joining the Dark Order, Anna Jay, she has developed a new, intense demeanor. Probably, of course, to please Mr. Broy Lee or get more than $20 from Stu Grayson. And I wonder if she will come and play at all. And I know she's recruiting Ty Conti, but I wonder if she's really recruiting her friend or just is this more backup for her? And will those 2 come into play here? Because I feel eventually Ty and Jay will face the Nightmare Sisters, Allie and Brandy, in a tag team match. And could the seeds for that be planted right here? And could that lead to the finish? With this new intense demeanor by Colt Cabana, will Mr. Broy Lee let Colt once again lead into the victory? Or will Mr. Broy Lee lead by example and get the win? Then the other side, you figure about Natural Nightmares trying to fight on Cody's behalf. Matt Cardona, he has nothing to lose fighting on behalf of his friend Cody. And Scorpio Sky, who recently took on Cody for the TNT title. This could lead him towards a TNT title opportunity after their subtle face-off where Anna Jay interfered. There is a lot of moving variables and things to figure out in this match. But personally, I understand you want to keep Dark Order strong, but you need to have some sort of opposition against them, I feel like. So I feel like some way the Natural Nightmares, Macadona and Scorpio Sky will pull out a win. And keep in mind, the Dark Order has yet to lose on pay-per-view. So imagine what way the Dark Order will go now from a mindset and how angry Mr. Broy Lee will be and how this will drive his character if they lose this match. So yeah, I think that somehow the Dark Order will lose here. That's my thoughts. Which leads me now to Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express. Jurassic Express, their 2nd time now on an AEW All-Out pay-per-view main card. Now they take on the Young Bucks with a much more serious, aggressive, angry, some would say heelish type demeanor. And it makes me wonder if that could lead them to victory here, and they're going to do it more for themselves versus the people. Less flash, you know? I want Jurassic Express to win here, though, because I do want Luchasaurus to be pushed to the moon. And Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, they are a promising tag team, 2 promising singles talents. But thinking about, again, singles talents, and thinking about the Young Bucks, and thinking about what could happen after All Out, and the future of BTE, something in me feels like the Young Bucks are going to win this, but they're going to surprise the audience and maybe make them boo them, too. Worse than they were booed at AEW Revolution, because they are not the favorites in that tag title match, as everybody was behind the Hangman and Kenny Omega. Hangman in particular. Which leads me now to talk about this match, move to the main card. Dr. Britt Baker, DND versus Big Swole in a tooth and nail match. As Tony Khan slowly put it on AEW Unrestricted, this will be a cinematic, falls count anywhere match that will take place around a dentist's office. So what sort of dental tools will come into play here? What sort of things can we expect? And can Big Swole finally get the best of Dr. Britt Baker in her own environment? Or will Reba somehow cause a distraction and mess up and suffer maybe from laughing gas? There's so many things to figure out that could happen during this match. And again, it has to be pinfall or submission. So with that being said, you could constrain somebody and pin them on a dentist chair. You could literally try and pull someone's tooth out. As again, Dr. Britt Baker literally could rip Big Swole's jaw out, as she says. And I remember Britt Baker saying, don't count me out at all out. So I'm not going to here, as I feel like this is finally the time. And I don't know if she's 100% recovered from her leg injury, because again, she had legitimate leg injury. But this is the first step towards building her. Because she's a future AEW Women's Champion, in my opinion. There, I said it. I'm going with Dr. Britt Baker for the win here. And then we'll see what's next for Big Swole and what sort of promo Dr. Britt Baker is going to give her, too. Because pretty much during the entirety of the summer, Big Swole has gotten the best of Britt Baker, and Britt Baker couldn't wrestle. But Britt Baker has been playing these mind games with Big Swole, including costing Team Swole the chance to win the Women's Tag Team Cup. So we'll see, but this should be a very entertaining match, and it's a first again in AEW. First females singles cinematic match on a main card. Enjoy it, folks. And I feel like also this will probably cause some people inside of going to a doctor's office too. But again, we'll wait and see. Let's go ahead now and think about the Broken Rules match as Matt Hardy faces Sammy Guevara. These two now one-on-one, as Sammy put it. Both have shared scars. They've shed blood. They've crashed through tables. They've hit each other with chairs. They've done everything to one another. As again, Matt Hardy sees huge potential in Sammy if he gets out from underneath Chris Jericho in the inner circle. But Sammy just wants Matt Hardy out of his life. So here we go. We have a match where if Matt Hardy loses, he must leave AEW forever. But it is a broken rules match as Sammy let Matt name the stipulation. And what that ensues is a last man standing match to the point that a man cannot answer a 10 count. And there has to be a winner. And the finish can take place anywhere. So thinking about the creative ingenuity of Matt Hardy and the bump tenacity of Sammy Guevara, this is a human car crash waiting to happen. But it's going to be extremely fun. And I expect some wild spots here. As again, Matt Hardy claims Sammy to deletion. But right now, I can't see Matt Hardy being out of AEW. And honestly, Sammy could win this too. I can see Matt doing like a loophole because again, there's 4 personalities to him. He might just rid himself of broken Matt, but that iconic extreme and can't kill Matt. Again, Matt says, I'm unkillable. They all can still stay. But with that being said, I feel like right now, Matt Hardy has to win this match. And then we'll see where these two go from here. Maybe they'll finally separate and leave each other to their own paths. In the end, I feel like both men truly do respect one another, but this is a human car crash waiting to happen, and I can't wait to see what craziness ensues. Which now leads into the AEW World Tag Team Championship match, as Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega now defend the titles against FTR, the #1 ranked and #1 contenders. Hangman Adam Page, Kenny Omega have pretty much ran the gauntlet of almost all the tag teams, it feels like, in the AEW tag team division. I know that's a long stance because some of them couldn't compete due to COVID, but just figure out the teams they have faced, all right? And successfully defend these titles against Natural Nightmares, the Best Friends, the freaking Dark Order, and of course, what still is my match of the year, the Young Bucks, and so many more. Now they face FTR, and honestly, both men, I feel, are going into this in an unstable mental capacity. But again, when it comes to the gold, these two guys, they get it done. And people, there has been no one yet to kick out of the last call, the Buckshot V-Trigger combination. But with that being said, FTR and the influence of Tully Blanchard, and literally they said if they don't win here, their legacy is dead. And I figure about the direction of the Elite as a whole, and Omega and Hangman too. Is the cleaner coming? Is Hangman going to go solo? Or is he going in business with FTR? Is this a long plan for something to come that's been in the works all along? With that being said, I feel like right now, it's time for a change. And business is going to change forever. I think FTR are going to pull out the win here. Now, will this match top AEW Revolution? I don't know. Because you got opposing oppositions and styles. You got traditionalists. And then you got the wrestling of Kenny Omega and Heyman Adam Page, 2 hybrid athletes, in my opinion. They can fly, they can brawl, they can throw fists. While FTR, they're traditionalists, they want the 10 count, they will use the tag rope, they'll use traditional tag team wrestling, but they'll do anything they need to win. I feel like FTR is going to go over here in the end. And it's going to be a really interesting match. And I feel like in the end, we're going to get an interesting angle among the Elite that'll change them once for all forever. In an alternate universe, though, I could honestly see Omega and Hangman continuing to hold the gold. But they could turn their backs on the Young Bucks and go into business for themselves and both go heel. That would be an unexpected surprise, too. This match shouldn't go either way, but I feel like right now it's FTR's time. So we'll see if I'm right. Moving on from there, we go into Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy 3, the Mimosa Mayhem match. A match that can be won via pinfall or submission or dumping your opponent in a vat of a little bit of the bubbly and orange juice. 80 gallons to be precise. These two right now are 1-1 after Cassidy put out the victory out of nowhere in their follow-up match after Jericho. He Judas affected him for the win with Inner Circle shenanigans aside. I have no idea what melee will ensue here. If Aubrey is the ref, good luck. I hope your shirt stays black and white and doesn't become orange. This is another Chris Jericho original innovation. This is Jericho versus Cassidy 3. But who do I see going over here? Orange Cassidy has already been made since being part of AEW. The way that they have booked this guy is unbelievable. And then you have Chris Jericho, who literally just loves what he's doing with AEW and really is endorsing a lot of these young guys as the future. I mean, look at what he's done with the Inner Circle with Sammy Guevara. Look at his matches with Darby Allin. I mean, I don't know, honestly, what to expect here, but I figure about that and how that could come into play. And honestly, I feel like that's going to be more of a post angle. And again, Jericho could simply win via Judas Effect or roll-up, but same could be said for Orange Cassidy, who could win with a mousetrap type pinfall combination. I have yet to see Orange Cassidy pull out some sort of submission maneuver, okay? Just saying. But something in me believes, because this is another Jericho innovation, and he lost his last one, which was the Stadium Stampede, which is still being held as one of the best matches of this year. I feel that Chris Jericho is going to get the best of Orange Cassidy. He's going to outsmart him. Because again, Chris Jericho, he could have the freaking Inner Circle at his side for all we know, with Proud and Powerful and Jake Hager. Or if nothing else, at least his right hand, Jake Hager. Will the best friends get involved here based on maybe events that happened earlier in Casino Battle Royale? Will Proud and Powerful try to take out best friends ahead of this? There's a lot of moving elements here. And again, I feel that that's going to come into play one another. But I feel like Jericho's going to outsmart Orange Cassidy. Because Orange Cassidy, yeah, he cares about this match, but afterwards he's going to really care what happens next. Yeah, who knows. And Jericho, I feel like, needs the win here. So I'm actually going to go with Chris Jericho for the win here. Which leads me to what I think it's going to be match of the night. And that is Hikaru Shida defending her AEW Women's World Championship against the NWA Women's World Champion, Thunder Rosa. You got to think about there was like no real competition, no opposition, no challenge for Hikaru Shida since her match with Penelope Ford back at, I think, Fyter Fest or Fight for the Fallen. Someone can correct me on that. And that was an incredible match, too. Really made Ford. So now we have this promotional type matchup where we have two promotions colliding. And Billy Corgan looks at this as a huge opportunity to open the doors for these promotions to work together. But I think about Thunder Rosa, I think about her background in MMA, and she is a professional wrestler. But Hikaru Shida, she lives and breathes professional wrestling. Joshi Pro Wrestler, been in the likes with Marufuji and Michael Satomura, and honestly, I call her the Kenny Omega of the AEW Women's Division. This match could potentially steal the show, but right now, I just don't know how to look at this finish any other way besides Hikaru Shida coming out with the win, because I just don't see Thunder Rosa leaving with 2 belts. Now, if her, Diamante, and Eva Lees form a faction that leads to Thunder Rosa becoming champion, that I could get behind and would be very interesting and could open the door maybe to some future talent to join Hikaru Shida and you get some faction warfare now in the women's division. Because again, the women's division's got potential, but they really need to put more build and more time into it and more character development. Yes, I realize Chris Statler is injured. She's a big piece. But we got likes of Abaddon, Kylan King, Danny Jordan, and heck, Anna Jay's finally becoming something, it seems, too. And Allie. So there's a lot of potential in this. But this match right here, I just right now cannot see Hikaru Shida losing this title. It's going to be an incredible bout. I'm sure they're going to do everything they can to make both look incredibly strong. And this, in my opinion, is only going to raise the game of the AEW Women's Division and what it can bring. While also you should watch the NWA. And yes, the NWA will be involved in primetime pay-per-view special with Camille, Nick Aldis versus Mike Bennett for the title and so much more in Thunder Rosa. I can't wait for that special, by the way, personally. I'm looking very forward to that. Oh, by the way, I hope my surprise entrance for the Casino Battle Royale is Eli Drake. Yeah. Which leads me now to our final match, as we have Jon Moxley defending the AEW World Heavyweight Championship against MJF. Both these men undefeated in singles action, yet to be pinned or submitted, basically, since their title run. But MJF overall has yet to be pinned or submitted since being part of AEW in singles action. One of these men is about to get a goose egg on their losing side turned into a 1. So, MJF has endorsed himself as the future of AEW for the next 25 years. He believes he can outlive Jon Moxley's tenure. He believes he's a better pro wrestler, while Jon Moxley is a great pro wrestler, but he's better as a brawler. We have this campaign, which has been an incredible build, by the way, where MJF and his cabinet go by the model MJF 2020, we deserve better. So, is the future of AEW right now truly going to be led by MJF as our champion? While Jon Moxley is PWI 500's #1 wrestler of the year, and with an upcoming defense of his IWGP United States Championship against what likely seems right now, Kenta, I right now feel like Jon Moxley has yet to face somebody that truly will push him to his limits. MJF's going to pull every trick out of the book. Wardlow, 42K punch, low blow. He's not going to say sorry. He's not going to outsmart. But he's going to have to bring a brand new type of intensity and fortitude if he's going to beat Jon Moxley, as Jon Moxley slowly put it. We got a subtle tease of what he can do this Wednesday on Dynamite. And we know Jon Moxley is going to be pissed. So with that being said, right now, MJF, he is one of the highest rising stars in AEW. And Tony Schiavone is like envy. I feel that Jon Moxley, because we need a good go-home moment, I feel like. The fans being back, sure, it'd be a big win, heavy boos galore, I'm sure, in reaction with MJF winning the title with 10% capacity of Dowley's place there. But right now, I feel like Jon Moxley's reign will continue. I feel that Jon Moxley is going to retain the championship. So as far as my outlooks for future of Dynamite, MJF and Wardlow, I could see those two breaking up and starting a feud. Jericho is going to move on to something else, maybe go after the world title, but maybe Omega will come into play and challenge Jericho again for that, because Omega might become the cleaner. BTE might be changed forever as we know it and become literally the Dark Order's foundation. The tag team division is still hot and on fire, and I feel Jurassic Express and Private Party will be rebuilt from this. I see SCU maybe diminishing apart. Sam might go on a singles run. I don't know what might be next for Daniels as far as the women's division. Britt Baker is going to come out, I feel like, and confront Sheeta. And after their match during the COVID era, that's one of the best matches of AEW's women's wrestling. And definitely one of my best matches during this COVID era, where she also got a #1 selling shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees from that. I sense that's got to be our next big match as we move forward towards not only the anniversary of Dynamite, but also their next pay-per-view, Full Gear. So those are my sole thoughts, inputs, outtakes, previews, and predictions of everything I think to come out, for the most part, of AEW All Out, after looking at this incredible AEW Dynamite Go Home special. And right now, it just seems like for the long haul, we're not going to see Cody for a bit. And Dark Order, they might try and reign supreme, but hopefully not. And apparently, a few of my friends decided to join the Dark Order and been trying to recruit me. So if I lose predictions tonight, I have to join them. But if I win, Sean is free. So good luck to all those Dark Order members. That's all I got to say about that. And by the way, until I see Colt wearing black and purple, I will not say that he's part of the Dark Order. But he definitely seems to be finally slowly being influenced by them and giving into his dark side, which is kind of scary to think about. Anyway, that's all I have to say for now. We are literally less than 2.5 hours away from the Red Carpet Part 1 special of AEW All Out. AEW All Out, of course, is on pay-per-view, $50. You can buy it on the BRR Live Bleacher app. And you could also buy it on Fight TV if you're in the UK. I hope everyone enjoys it, tunes into it. And I will be back, of course, with another simple take on the pay-per-view as well. Follow WrestleJoy, follow NoTQ, follow Pro Wrestling Discussions, Team All Elite. Support your understanding how this big and small. I'm just a simple man, a lifelong fan of wrestling. And let's keep growing this incredible, diverse, unique, elite, authentic, unscripted, unrestricted wrestling community together. Simple as that. With that being said, folks, thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Hit the bell known video, goes live on this channel, hit the subscribe button. I'll be back tomorrow as well with a simple take following the first 2 days of New Japan Road. And again, I just enjoyed wrestling. I am super pumped and looking forward to this pay-per-view. The unpredictability, the match quality, the match variety. It's all there. And it's going to be a wild show tonight. So with that being said, I just hope you all, again, be safe, wear a mask. This thing is real. We only will get through this together if you do what you need to for the safety of yourself and others around you. And I hope you all enjoy your Saturday and enjoy AEW All Out. And have a wonderful day.